So it's that time of year again, and the holidays are coming up. And you're thinking, what kind of presents can I make to save me some money? Or what kind of items can I make to make me some money? Well, look no further, because we're going to cover all that today. I have 3 really cool projects you can make this winter and either sell for a nice profit or give to a loved one. So let's go ahead and dive on into it. So for our first project, we're going to dabble into something every woodworker starts with, and that is going to be not a cutting board, but a cheese slicer. And if you don't really care to watch that, then skip to the next project. Don't click off the video. So first, we're going to grab all the different species of wood we want and cut them down to roughly 8 inches. So once we have the species you want cut length, I'm going pretty simple: maple and Peruvian walnut. We'll take these over to my table saw and get them cut down to some decorative strips. So our first piece is getting cut down to 3 1/4 inches, and then we're going to do 2 at 1/4 of an inch and then 2 at 1/2 an inch. And as soon as I'm getting started, there goes the power. Does your breaker ever kick off? Let me know in the comments. Then you're going to want to use Titebond 3 because it is food safe, and then you're going to finger it. The glue. Finger the glue on there. You know what I mean. And since the recommended size to run through your planer is 12 inches, I double-sided tape this to a flat piece of plywood to try to run it through the planer. But unfortunately, the double-sided tape still wasn't working, and I kept getting snipe on my board. So after the issues I had with the planer and the double-sided tape not working, I brought this over to my workbench and used my disc sander with some 80 grit to get it down. And if you haven't seen this already, me and the disc sander did not get along. I had it set down on my bench cookies, but I was also holding it, and when I put it on there and it got up to speed, it slipped and caught me right in the thumb. So good, but it's pretty gnarly. So we're gonna keep going. So once you have this planer sanded, the smart thing would do is to cut this a little longer so you can run it through your planer without any issues, but I didn't do that. So once you get it flat, we're gonna take and cut the edges off here. So now we're going to take our piece and come up 4 1/4. Mark that here. And we are going to center our hole here so it's exactly 1 inch from one end to the other. So we'll make that mark at 1/2 an inch. Now I'm going to take my 1/4 inch drill bit and go down 2 7/8. Now we're going to come over to the table saw and raise that blade so the highest point is just above that hole. And now we're going to pull our table saw fence down to 2 inches, flip our board to the finished side down, and we're going to make that cut. And now that we have everything cut, we'll hit this with some cutting board oil. And I got this kit from Wood River for about $7. What we're going to do here is make sure we get our wire cut in that bar here, and then once everything lines up here with our string, we're going to hold this back and add in our set screw to our handle. And there we have a nice cheese slicer you can make for a loved one or sell for a very nice profit. And don't worry, this is going to stay at my house since I decided to slice my thumb on it. So let's move on to project number 2. So for this next project, we're going to grab a couple species of wood and cut them down to 15 inches long. Now we're going to head over to our table saw and rip a couple pieces down to 5/8 of an inch. Then we're going to take one piece of that purple heart, turn it sideways, and cut it down to 1/2 an inch. And if you're enjoying the video, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out and it doesn't cost you a thing. Also, please hit the like button and comment the word cheese to help us beat this algorithm. And now we're going to do a quick few passes on our planer. So real quick, I just want to tell you guys about the Supstable battery-powered pole saw. This thing is super cool and it has really impressed me. When I got it in the mail, I didn't really have much hope for this thing, but it really surprised me. It's got a 6-inch chainsaw blade on it that can cut through some very nice sized branches. I even cut down a small tree with it. And what I love about this company, they send you everything you need in the same package. Not only can I do a 6-inch blade, but I can also go up to an 8-inch, and they sent me an extra chain as well. Not one battery, but 2 batteries. I got these straight out of the box, never charged them, used them quite a bit. Only used 1 battery and they're both still fully charged. They also send you some cut-safe gloves, which is really nice, and a nice pair of safety glasses. And one of my favorite parts for all you hunters out there, if you got a spot in your deer stand that's way up high or anything like that you need to get out of your way, it also comes with a carrying strap so you don't have to hold it all day long. You can throw it on your back just like you do your rifle. It's got a brushless motor and each battery lasts anywhere from an hour to an hour and 40 minutes. And with the pole extended completely out with the tool on it, you've got an extra 10 foot of reach, which really comes in handy for them pesky limbs that keep putting pine sap on your car. So be sure to click the link in the description. Be sure to get your Supstable pole saw. Let's get back to the video. And with this, we're going to measure over 3 5/8 of an inch all the way down. And just to decorate these a little more, I'm going to take them over to my router table and put a slight chamfer on each side. Now I'm going to hit these with some 220 grit, throw some finish on it. So for a third project, I've got a piece of walnut here that's 7 1/4 inches wide by 1 inch thick, and we're going to cut that down to 10 inches. And I found the scrap piece of 1x that's 3/4 of an inch thick. I'm going to cut 2 pieces down to 10 inches and 2 pieces 5 3/4. Super easy. Just add a dab of glue to each end. Hit it with a brad nail. Now I'll take some double-sided tape and tack it down. And then I'm going to clamp this to my workbench. And I use a straight bit on my palm router to help me route this out. Now this isn't exactly a sign, but it has the same concept. And that's why I want to thank my friends over at makeawoodsign.com for giving me the idea to use the exact same concept as they do in their videos. I'll leave a link in the description for you guys to check them out. But hopefully you won't have this issue with your router. I'm unfortunately going to have to call this, guys. I broke the metal collet in the router, so the bit's just in there flopping around everywhere. But I have done one of these. I've done a video on one of these before. I'll leave that up here somewhere. But you can make a really nice catch-all tray with a router, and it's going to look fantastic. It's going to look luxurious, and it's going to cost you just a small piece of maple or walnut, whatever you got. But that is at least 2 of the 3 projects we're going to do today that are going to look very expensive and not cost you much at all. Be sure to click the link in the description, get your Supstable pole saw. Be sure to use that discount code. Click right here if you're going to check out my last video. We'll see you guys next time on Boondockbuilds.